Hey, how's it going, everybody out there? It's your boy, the Magic Nate, and I am here with my co-host and your guys' favorite publisher out there, Carl. Carl, how's it going?
I am your favorite publisher. For those three of you that's watching right now, and the 100 or so of you watching later, I'm Carl Choi, publisher, co-founder of 24/7 Comics. Magic Nate, it's good to have you. We had a really good breakfast yesterday with a little surprise that we'll share a little bit more later. Won't spoil it for anyone, but yeah, it just feels productive, man. This is like, I mean, first of all, we're gonna have a whole crew here tonight. But for you, this is also your first Kickstarter campaign. How was it?
You know what? It's been a lot of work, but a lot of fun, and I'm super stoked that we were able to do it. And all these guys have been great to work with, and I love the rush, and I can't wait to see what comes next.
Yeah, you're an active contributor to this campaign in a really special way, which we'll talk about more later. So when you have a chance, send me some links to reference about that little topic. But with that said, we embarked on this journey with a really clear intention of doing something really different. With Bladesmith, this is definitely a team that was assembled from many different places, not just places as far as like their expertise, but also in time. When I say that, we have a super OG who's been in the industry for like 3 decades. We have someone who's been working in comics for the last 5 years or so. And we have a brand new writing team that actually has never worked on comics before. They actually come from the film and TV world. I mean, as you read the comics today, I mean, as you read Bladesmith, like, how did it read to you, Nate? I mean, like, I know you're a little fresh to comics as well, but I can also share a little bit about, what Karen said. Karen, who's one of our new project managers here, I had some really good feedback from her.
Yeah, my experience is it's growing, it's slow, it's growing, but because I'm so new to comics, I can say how excited I was to be able to take on a story, get it with fresh eyes, and try to experience it from a different perspective, especially coming from a different industry than the comic book industry. I love the story. I like the action. John Wick is one of my favorite franchises out there. So, and if it's not apparent, I don't say no to food. So, getting the two of my favorite things put into a comic book, it's been one of the coolest experiences. And yeah, Karen, our new project manager, uh, like, what did you hear from her?
We just had coffee and like literally like an hour and a half ago, and she's never read a comic before working with us. She is actually a novel reader. She loves a lot of kind of narratives. She loves nonfiction, fiction, but she had a blast reading Bladesmith. I think one of the most important discussions we had was reading a comic is so different because typically you're kind of flying through the words, but with comics, she found herself like speeding up and having to go back and read the artist's interpretation of the visuals. Because often, when we talk about different mediums, I think comics is like the number one medium in the world, because when you watch a movie, it's a very passive consumption pattern. Now, when you read a novel, it's very active because you're also using your imagination, you're reading the words. But with comics, you're literally collaborating hand in hand with the creators themselves. And so, each of us may read a comic and we will connect the panels differently. And I think because of that, constant collaboration, that's why we do find, convention and fandom being a huge thing where our creators actually do kind of feel like there's a working relationship with our creators. So, with that said, we're gonna work backwards today. Like we mentioned, we have a little surprise for you guys later in about probably 10 minutes from now. But we do want to bring in our OG of the team, who is Will Quintana, who is the colorist. Will,
Hey, what's up, Carl? What's up, Nate? How you doing, fellas?
welcome, Will. I mean, you've been around the
Hey, what's
block,
going on,
man.
Will?
Yeah, you've been on DC, Marvel. You've done your Valiant work. You've done cross gen.
Image,
Yeah,
Dark
across the board.
Horse, Archie, man, like you name it, I've probably worked with them.
Okay,
Yeah.
would I be lying if I said that you're doing some of your best work in your career to date with 24/7 Comics? Because I really feel that way.
The truth detector would not call you a liar.
Awesome. So, folks, I mean, I don't know if you guys have tuned into comics. If it's your first exposure, really take a look. Often we look at, movies. You got the director, you got the writer, you got the editorial, and often, when it comes to comic books, the writers are the script writers, right? The storytellers. But often the co-creators are the artists themselves. And why is that? Is because they are also the cinematographer as well as the director. But where, the colorist comes in, you are in essence the editing room. You're coming in, you're putting the final touches on it, you're coloring, and that's a really important part of the movie. And often people say that about movies is the movie is made 3 times. It's made in the script form, it's made on set, and then it's also made again in the editorial room. So in the context of comics, you have the final touch. And so yeah, we want to definitely highlight you, Will, and your process. Now we'll work backwards and bring the other young buck from the comic book industry, Kreese. What's up, Kreese?
How's it going?
Good. Look at that new setup, man.
Yeah, it's kind of bare right now. I'm like half set up, just barely set up for the stream and stuff.
So yeah, we're gonna work through today. We have an hour and a half or so. They say the last day is one of the most important days of a campaign on Kickstarter, and so we want the whole crew here today. And also, like I mentioned, a little bit of a surprise. And Kreese, how you feeling, man?
Tired, but excited.
It's a mixed emotion, right? I think Kickstarter, you don't know how hard it is until you go through it yourself, right?
Yeah.
And I think, obviously you're juggling a few things in life. You have a bunch of cons. We're just at the beginning of the con season. So I felt like you were like literally juggling every weekend.
Yeah, I'm like trying to also like finish a cover, and I'm also going to Toronto tomorrow. And so it's like so many things going on. But yeah, no, like I've done like two or three Kickstarters before, and it's always like the last push is always like it's exciting, but it's always the most draining, I think. So
it is. No, it is. So with that said, we'll circle back to you guys. I want to bring on the rest of the team. Linji, let me know when you're ready. Turn on your camera. But for now, I'm gonna bring on bring on both of you guys. Justin and Linji. What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's up, man?
What up?
What's up?
So here is the co-writers and creators. And these two, Linji, I've known for a couple of decades almost. Justin, you were the creator of the screenplay that read like a comic book, which was why Linji brought it to 24/7. And now we're here. I mean, how are you guys feeling, man? It's been 30 days of a lot of work and a lot of chit-chatting. I probably talked to you guys more this 30 days than I've talked to you as long as I've known you guys. So how are you guys feeling?
Good. Excited, man. Like it's echoing everyone else's words. And I mean, ultimately also like, I feel like this is just like the marathon continues for us, right? Because it's been a very long time, but also a short time when it comes to like the actual production of everything. But yeah, it's been amazing. This is like awesome.
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's super dope. I think the process is cool. You have to really be out in front of it, like you and I talked about, Carl. I think like in the beginning, I was like, I like to move in the shadows. That's kind of like my life philosophy because of where I've been. But at some point, I'm like, nah, you really got to get in front of this thing. And just like people, like you said, people got to see your excitement, their passion. Even if it's inside, you got to externalize. So I take that, like through these 30 days, I took that and tried to, do it, ease my way into the river. You know what I mean? So that's why today I brought my homies Lauren and Osari with me. So,
nice.
we gonna bring this thing home. That's Lauren on the left, Osari on the right. And
there was a little moment too. I remember at Comics Pro, you saw your boy Jim Lee pop up. And what turn? I felt something turn when you saw him up there promoting his latest book.
It was the fact that he's a super legend, and like he's penned some of the greatest comics ever, some of the greatest comics ever. And I was seeing him so humble on that stage, sitting in the room. It was maybe 80% full, and they filed him just for him. And he was just like, please come see my shit. And I was like, are you crazy? You Jim Lee, bro. And so I was like, if Jim Lee is willing to get off a plane on China and come directly to Glendale, then my stupid ass can go out there and say, please support the comic, and not try to be the cool guy being like, I'm just gonna sit in the cut and not do nothing. I think like for that, I was like, Jim Lee doing that. So we have no excuse. And that's why, I just shout out to this whole experience and being able to go to Glendale to that con. It was dope, man.
Yeah, and 2 days later, Jim Lee had the signing, and then 2 days later after that, he's signing somewhere else. So he's in it right now. So I think it's like guys like him and McFarlane. These guys are just, man, they're out there. They're like at every con. It's pretty impressive. Even like they've been doing it for like 30, 40 years, and they're still rocking. And I feel like it just shows like the true passion and love for the craft. But real quick, I want to just shout out some of the audience members. Batman Who Laughs. That's one of my favorite versions of the Joker. Let's go. Thanks for encouragement. Stan, welcome, Stan. Movie animation. Oh, we talk about that a lot behind the scenes. So
live action or animation? That's a whole conversation. You know what I mean? Like,
Arelis, thanks for always supporting. You are a regular here, and
shout out Arelis, man.
Appreciate it. So we do have a little surprise for you guys. But before then, I want to throw up where we are at the Kickstarter. So this is our Kickstarter. This is our last day, folks. And we appreciate it. I know like on Monday, it wasn't the best day for the stock market. But you guys still, we know every penny is hard earned. And we appreciate that. And, we're going to dive through some of these tiers one more time today. But one of the things we want to do was kind of share a little bit about our breakfast yesterday. And, Magic Nate, you want to share a little bit about our breakfast and how it went yesterday?
Absolutely. So we went and drove a little bit out of the LA area and met with somebody extremely special and very talented. We met with a fantastic chef and media personality who has a passion for life, loves his family, and just loves to get involved and look at life through just an amazing lens. He's got an amazing story too. We got to sit down with this incredible individual and just get to talk shop a little bit, get to know each other a bit. And he's actually getting to join us tonight. Do you mind if I go ahead and just introduce him, Carl?
Yeah, please do. That's you've been a big fan and you're the one that reached out. So I thought it would be proper that you introduced him today.
Yeah, it's true. I've been a fan of his personality, his work, his art, his food. Please, we can welcome to the stage Chef Jet Tila.
Jet!
Oh,
Hello.
What an honor, team.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
So
shit.
cool.
That's so fucking dope, man.
Yo, Jet.
Was this a surprise for everybody? Anyway,
it's a super surprise. And I
saw the name and I was like, nah, no way. No way. I know your name,
get
bro.
out. I am the least talented person in all these boxes, by the way. I just gotta give massive shout outs to everybody because I cook food, y'all. Let's just be real. I just cook food.
Look, man, you don't know how much that means to me because my wife, she's a chef in her own right. But one of the things I set precedents when I married her or before I married her was I set the expectations that the kitchen is not my natural habitat. I grew up in Hong Kong. I'm a freaking city boy. And so what you do is like what like Superman does to a normal human being to me.
No way, man.
Welcome.
Admiration Society. Thanks, by the way, Carl and Nate. As for all of our friends watching, I am new to the comic world. I know, you know what? I'm going to come out and this is a support group. And hi, I'm Jet Tila, and I'm new here. But just understanding, the lunch, the breakfast we had, just the amount of talent and the amount of just work and time and dedication to the craft. I mean, you guys are all artists, and I got to say, you know what? I'm going to be just straight up. Like people say, it's culinary arts. Like I cook and chop and cut things, but I don't make art. You guys truly make art. So I'm stoked to be here, man. Thanks. I feel like I'm becoming part of the gang little by little here.
It's awesome. Fit right in, man. I mean, I'll kick it off. I'm sure the boys have some questions for you and whatnot, but Yesterday was cool. We just broke bread. Really was like got right to it. Just kind of talked about our values, our journeys, and it was really inspiring. And then for us, one of the things that was really cool was, man, you were ready to freaking dive into the books. You're like, yo, send me the PDFs. I dove in, and you read them. So
Man,
I
am
got an exclusive preview
over Bladesmith right now, man, and just looking at the detail of the culinary work. By the way, the dumplings, the dishes, the knives. And if you know me, I am the fastest knife on Food Network, right? It's not even a thing. And I can really relate with all the work it takes. I mean, how kind of realistic you guys have brought my culinary world to this page. And then on top of that, seeing like the scimitars and this knife and that knife, like in real life in action. It's pretty dope, guys, I got to say. So I am all in, and I don't know how many episodes are out in the world, but I'm caught up, and I'm waiting for more, bro. So I don't know where the world is, but I'm deep in it, and I'm ready to keep going.
Oh, you're awesome. Right at the start, man. It's been awesome. I mean, I'll pass it to the guys. I mean, it's awesome that you took the time to read it. I feel like a lot of folks, like you, I mean, a lot of folks are telling me this is their first exposure to comics. And
wow,
yeah. And Karen, who is our project manager, she was like, man, it really left me wanting more. And so I do feel like the power of the comic book medium is one of the most powerful, as the reader and the creators are actually collaborating in the storytelling process. And so, yeah, I'll leave it up to the boys. I mean, Justin, Kreese, Linji, Will, any thoughts or questions? And we'll invite you guys who are watching today. Feel free to put any questions into the chat while we have Jet Tila here as well, our very special guest.
Yeah, actually, Jet had touched on it as far as the food. Like you had mentioned it briefly. What was your sense when you saw the food on the page? Like, was it something that did we do a good job in the sense of representing the dishes and stuff like that?
It wasn't even a good job. It was an amazing job, because there's a lot of layers here. And again, not coming from this comic world or this photo kind of like art world, just to see like the dumplings and the baskets and the knives, and then watching, I mean, so I don't know what your process is to put yourself in a chef's point of view, but you destroyed it. Like, it wasn't even like someone's interpretation of what they think it's like being in a kitchen. It feels like very realistic in terms of the dishes themselves, the what we call the CGS, the China glass silverware world around it. So my question is to you is like, are you more than a diner? Obviously, you're somehow you understand food on that very graphic level, which is pretty amazing.
Well, that would be Kreese, because Kreese definitely, he illustrated all those dishes, and I photo referenced a lot of it, and Kreese had provided that to me. So, yeah, Kreese, Kreese was the genius that came up with the dishes. I just kind of like, I
feel like I'm just
the color.
I feel like I'm just always eating, so I just have that life experience to reference off of, So
in fact, one of the mandates
I
tried. No, one of the mandates to you guys was to like make our readers hungry, right? And so I think that was like really, definitely accomplished. So yeah, Kreese, you were saying.
No, yeah, I mean, like I eat a lot in Flushing, and there's a bunch of Asian foods, and I'm very like detail oriented, and so like I noticed the certain plates, that they use, and I try to use that like life experience in the comics. I think that always helps. But I just hope I got everything accurate, because I don't know like all the background that goes into making all of it. So that's just like Google researching at that point, and then just trying to pick out certain scenes to do. But I'm glad that when you read it, you felt like it didn't take you out of the story.
No, from a true culinary expert, like who knows that world part of the world and food. 100% gold stars. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
As you're a culinary expert, Jet, the guys are used to this now, but I have a question for you. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Raise your hand if you like pineapple on pizza.
I love pineapple on pizza. It's freaking.
Yeah. So Will. Yeah. So two out of. There you go. So Will, Lindsay, pineapple. You know, and there's certain people that will crush you for pineapples on pizza, but I like the sweet and the savory personally, and that's definitely going against the grain, man. That's definitely going against the grain. Good one.
Man, Jay, I got a question for you, man. Well, I mean, first, there's a personal thing. Like, when my sister was here, rest in peace, she really loved watching you. So I watched a lot of cooking shows with her. I love watching baking shows. So it's dope. I'm like, oh, shit. Amazing. You know what I mean? So it was through her that I got to know. I saw you on screen. So firstly, like, super respect for that. And then my second question is, like, if you was an assassin, how would you apply your culinary skills to the way you would kill people? Like, what would be your special weapon? You know what I mean? Like, how would Jet be a killer?
The irony of all this, guys, is I think in our darkest minds, right, in our most primal minds, you know, I joke all the time to my closest friends, like, I could take people apart like that. Ooh. I know where all the arteries are. I know where I know exactly where you know, every articulation point in the body, where your arteries plus your, you know, I mean, so my weapon would be a Japanese chef's knife, and it would be fast because I could desanguinate someone probably within 30 seconds. I could take someone's arm off or leg off probably while they're still, you know, pretty aware. Like, it's a gory business, and that's why I love bladesmith, because I am a bladesmith. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my dreams and in my craziest, like, part of my primal mind, bro, like, you know. And the second weapon, I have a whole thing of knives I should just pull out and show you guys, and why. You know what I mean? And which weapon and why. But you know, why the hell not? You guys have 2 seconds.
All right.
All right. So my wife has organized all her blades, so I'm going to share with you in the audience just how crazy organized. Organized all of our weapons here. So shout out to Ali Tila. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite blades and how I would use them if I was a bladesmith. And maybe one day, hint to the audience, I can figure out how to be one. But here's probably one of my favorite shapes. And my son is a huge fan of comics. You guys want to meet Ren really quick? Yeah. Laura, and when I met Laura Ren in the thing, here's Ren Tila right here. You want to say what's up, Ren?
What's up,
That's Ren
Tila.
Right there. So when he was reading about literally a comic, when he was reading about Ren, that was him. It's pretty awesome. So 3 things I'm gonna show you real quick. This is probably my favorite shape right here. Thin Japanese steel, right? I mean, I could get through someone's whatever. Let's not get too graphic here. And then the next weapon would be a small paring knife, because you could really kind of hide that in and do a lot of quick work with that. And then lastly would be grandma's cleaver, dog. Like that's when you want it, right? Ren's a thumbs up. That's when you're hacking off limbs when you're really angry and while they're still conscious. The butcher's knife. That's right. So anyway, guys, without getting too graphic and scaring off people, that's how I would do it, y'all. So
we love it, man.
Shout out to all of you guys and what you do. And man, I fell in love with bladesmith like in about 10 seconds. So
my gosh, I mean, boys will be boys. You got us all just like hyped right now, man. All right, so you know,
we had him early.
Chef Jet is a very busy man, so I think we have room for like one more question. So anyone?
Actually got one. Jet, like by the way, like thank you for all your all the praise and amazing words. and this is definitely hyping us up, on the last kind of sprint. But I also love all your content that you've been creating with Good Boy Noah. He's like
Word,
a really I've been growing up
Oh.
with. So I would love to know, like, maybe again, like, knowing how busy you are, but maybe if you're open to it, would love to try to create a collab thing, maybe with Bladesmyth and yourself, whether it's like a menu or maybe it's a knife that we create together. But I love how generous you are with a lot of creators out there right now, and especially doing things that's outside of your world, but somehow bridging it and tying it together. And I think I remember all the stuff you and your wife created with Noah. I was like, oh, this could be so interesting, the graphic novel world, and it happens to be within the kind of culinary space. And it seems like you also love all that kind of kitchenware. So maybe we can all find a way down the road.
I promise that we are all going to collab on something, because the way to proliferate art and passion is to work with people who have skill sets that are not your own. So it would be my honor. And like we were talking at breakfast, hopefully this is, the beginning of some really great things to come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Awesome. No, great.
Yeah, in fact, we're planning to do a meal at Korean barbecue, and obviously the whole crew.
All of us, everyone here. Yeah, exactly.
For sure. So I mean, Jet, since we have you, I mean, obviously there's a new audience for you. You're on big time TV. We're just a little YouTube over here.
Yeah, right. Bro, I'm cable-lebrity. A cable-lebrity is not a TV celebrity.
But where can people find you? What are you up to next? Anything you want to plug? Everyone can spread the word for. Please.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna have to take off in a few seconds here, but Tournament of Champions right now, guys. Sunday nights. It's the #1 show on Food Network. 32 chefs walk into this thing, and one chef walks out with 150K and a big giant, belt and a ring. And Tournament of Champions happening right now. I'll see you guys this year on Beat Bobby Flay, Guys Grocery Games, Wildcard Kitchen, all the Food Network shows. And please check out our socials. I'm at Jetila. You'll see Ali, Ren, Amaya. You'll see us all on all of our collabs. And man, he is so stoked. Ren is so excited to be on this stream. I've never seen him this crazy stoked before. It's so funny, man.
This is awesome. We're also fans of Star Wars over here, so
exactly. Sick, guys. Well, right, I do want to say, look, I hope this Kickstarter campaign goes over the top. It's been really amazing to have some time with Nate and Carl. I'm looking forward to meeting in person all the other guys here. Keep kicking butt. I really hope to be a part of this Bladesmyth world one day. And congrats on everything, guys.
Ooh, we need a character.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Jet.
Woo! What was that all about?
I want to see some fan art at some point from these people of like Ren and Jet facing off against each other. That'd be some cool fan art right there.
Did you see this? This character gotta have tattoos, man. You know what I mean? Like, woo! That's crazy.
The way he was like gripping the knives too, I was like, oh.
Yeah, did you see?
That was great. He
is Smith, man. He was like, he had his finger on the top of that pairing. I was like, oh
yeah. That was dope. We got to name it like a signature move after him, like a death move after him. Ooh, that would be like the way he was moving, like poof.
Yeah.
There's so many
for reaching out, man. Like that's crazy, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, great work, Magic Nate. Magic Nate was the man.
That's Nate working his magic.
Working his magic. So shout outs to Mary who's in the chat. If there's one culinary chef here, Mary, I miss all her baked goods that we used to get in office, and so definitely shout out to Mary. But let's see who else is here. Realize you said why disrespect? I'm going to put a few pounds after reading Bladesmyth. Oh my gosh, I think Kreese already did from drawing it. And can books get signed through Kickstarter? Not yet, but stand by. We're working on a few kind of ideas surrounding how we get signed books, but I think we will probably host a signing at a local store. So AS, let us know where you're at. Maybe we could prioritize a store to show up at. And yeah, 100% gold stars from Jet, guys. I mean, dude, here we are, guys. Back to the Kickstarter. This is the very last day. 184 backers. We're at 16,342. 16 more hours to go. How fitting, 16,000 with 16 hours to go. So guys, get us to 20, man. I mean, we're not far away, so just tell a friend, share away. But we also understand because times are tough. People lost 50% of their Tesla stocks. But you know, let's take a moment, guys. Let's soak in this whole Jet Tila appearance. Why don't we go around? I want to hear from everyone. Magic Nate, you go first, man. You're the big fan. You reached out. Now you saw us come together.
How did you reach out? Like, I need to know this story.
Yeah.
Hey, I am the king of cold calls. So that's how I built my business in escape rooms and as a professional magician. And after getting a chance, and this is a fun plug for you guys watching here for Bladesmith, after actually reading through the story and getting to know characters, and I had to tell Jet this yesterday too at breakfast, is there's a certain tone that's presented in Bladesmith where it's not like, it's got energy, but it's not bouncing off the walls. It's not goofy. And when we were thinking of people that we wanted to partner with or be able to include in our universe, the first person I thought of was Jet Tila. And I told the team, and I immediately got in contact with him, doing my due diligence and research. And I have been a fan of his for many, many years. And so getting the chance to be able to sit down over breakfast, explain with Carl, all about 24/7 and the Bladesmith universe and everything you guys have done to make this come to life. It was just a blast. And so having him here on the stream and how stoked he is about Bladesmith, that just makes me even happier because I get to be a part of this team who brought it, who's bringing it to life. So props to you guys, and to you people at home watching. Thank you for being supporters. And hopefully you guys will continue to support.
That's the dopest shit ever, man. And I love that you just go after it. I think that's yeah, I just think it's just super dope, man. Again, he hit a very personal. Seeing that name, I was like, no way. So I think it was just cool. And then when I heard him talk, I was like, oh, this cat is, yeah, he really with it. So man, that's super dope, man.
He was with it, man, and we kicked it off right away. He was exposed to the pitch, but then he literally wanted to read it right away, and he literally responded and read the books really quickly, and so it was just kind of crazy. And it was like, I'm on tomorrow, and so it was such a quick turnaround. And we meet a lot of people in this industry, and when it comes to people you want to work with and collaborate with. And it's great that Linji put him on the spot. So now he has to promise that he's gonna do something with us. So guys like him, it's rare. Very authentic and just truly vibed with everything that you guys were putting into the books. I mean, how about you, Linji? How'd you feel about that appearance?
I loved it. I didn't. It was amazing. Thank you, Nate, and all the team working to get him. I think you're right. He's definitely the right guy. And it was also great to see a face, because he's been doing a lot of collab with this other content creator called Good Boy Noah, who makes these cooking videos. And Noah and I go way back as well, and we're just friends. And so one of the first chefs he got was Jet Tila, and I remember they're really close. So beyond just him being the type of chef tonally that's right, I think he's also the type that's open-minded and wanting to actually create with creatives, so. It's amazing, I think, and you can even feel it more just him jumping on and the kind of positive energy that he already exudes.
It's awesome.
Excited.
Oh, for sure. And he likes pineapple on pizza. I mean, come on.
You gonna hit Noah now? Be like, bro, I met Jet, man. Are you gonna hit Big Noah right now?
It's also because he's Asian. It's all that it's just Asian food is just sweet and spicy.
Yeah.
You grew up eating sweet and sour pork, man. It's just it's basically flatten that out. That's a pizza.
So, any other thoughts, Will, Kreese, on Jet's appearance today?
I thought it was sick. He showed off his knife collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was mesmerized by that.
Yeah, that was really cool. definitely like I feel like he's like a great like person of reference for our comic. It's like perfect example of Loren and stuff. So yeah, it's like
you know what was cool
awesome.
on that, Chris, is, or like what we've been saying is that the expansion possibilities of what this comic can do and where it can go are limitless. I mean, we all knew that, but I didn't fully see. I mean, this has been an eye-opening month in general. But one, Jim Lee at the con, that was big for me. But two, seeing Nate bring in Jet, you see the possibilities of where this comic goes and what it expands into in every avenue. The Hollywood word is vertical, right? Scale everything into everything. But now you add a piece and you're like, oh, this can go there and go. You know what I mean? Like, it's got some craziness to it.
Yeah,
man. Organic synergy is really hard to find, and so
Boom,
we're finding a lot of that now. Yeah. Oh, go for it, Will. Sorry.
No. You took the word right. Like, I think we said it at the same time. Like, I owe you a Coke. We both said synergy at the same time. So
Nice.
next time I see you, I owe you a Coke.
Let's go. I mean, in fact, B-Shack TV had the idea Jet could do a cameo in future issue. And then in a way, I almost felt like you guys already kind of had that idea earlier as well and was hinting it.
Variant.
I mean, once the door was open, I was like, bro, you're going to be in it. And he gonna be tatted up, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be like crazy.
Yeah, we don't have a guy that's like all tatted up yet, right?
No.
Garot has some tats, but we don't see it yet.
Okay, got it.
Wait, where's his tats at? I don't remember. Like, oh shit.
On one side. Okay. So he does have some. It's cool. He double sleeve guy.
We can take it out. We could save it for Jet's character.
Whatever it takes. All of a sudden.
Man, that's sick though.
And then Mary. Jet really has been a champion support of creatives and arts and community. Love him even more for it. We love you too, Mary. You've been a supporter and champion.
Yeah, shout out Mary, man.
Yep. Won't be here without you. Houston AS. Hey, AS. I don't know about Houston yet. I think we're talking to Dragon's Lair. So a quick report back is I did during my speech at Comics Pro last week promise every retailer I will email them personally, and I just finished yesterday. And so it took a while just because I really want to kind of do some. I went through my photos. I went through my notes. Went through kind of like stocked every name who signed up on our list a bit just to get to know them. And I want to make sure that however I reach out is personable and so and meaningful and really like communicate what we're here for. And so we actually did get the CEO of Dragon's Lair. We had a really good conversation. We sent them samples, including Bladesmith. And so AS in Houston, Texas, Dragon's Lair is there. If you're in Dallas, Jeremy Shore, the owner, he had a Zoom with me yesterday, and he just placed an order today for Aura books. And so that's for me, I know it's a baby step because it's 1 of 2,000. But, in my head, as soon as he said, give me 10 of each, I was like, oh, popping bottles, it was like back into the nightclubs. And so AS, hope that answers your question. And with that said, guys, I think it'd be we've had a lot of support so far. We have probably some viewers right now that hasn't backed and is like on the fence. So I thought it'd be really cool just to give them like a little bit of a preview as to what they're gonna see and get in the book. So with that said, I'm going to add to the stage our books previews. So these are small intentionally, guys. I don't want you guys to screenshot and feel like you could like put it online somewhere. But issue number 1, this is basically a little PDF preview. And, I'm just going to scroll through it slowly. And, maybe you guys could comment on the cover, comment on different credits, people involved. Just comment on the pages and that way everyone can kind of get a feeling of like how you guys are feeling as you see this before it goes to print. So,
you want us to comment, bro? Or
I want you guys to comment. Just chime in.
Oh, is this like film DVD commentary type shit?
Exactly. Let's
go. Okay, bet. Let's go. Oh man, Blingy, this takes us all the way back to the beginning,
man. So Chris, what was the cover about with this fire? Like, is it like the walk or something? Like, what's
it was like the fire in the kitchen kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah. Because
why
pointing
did
the
you
knife
choose
at
the
you.
pose where he looks so dope and heroic, where he holds it out in front like a killer? Like,
Yeah.
what
It's like saying like
landed
you're
you
next.
on that pose?
Yeah. That's perfect. It's great pose.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Like
how did you decide on that?
Wait, sorry, what's up?
How did you decide on the heroic pose in the first one? Because it's a dope ass pose.
I thought it was just cool because like I wanted to showcase the cooking knife, you know, like so. I think if it was like any other weapon, it's just cool like there, but like I really wanted the chef's knife like in the front, and so pointing that I think at the audience was like my goal. So
I love that because it has a real cinematic quality of all the references that we've said. You know what I mean? Like all the old martial arts, wuxia, and everything. It's just like that's like a pose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That all the heroes strike. It's almost as iconic as like the one where like Akira pose with the motorcycle. You know what I mean? Like where they're like one hand on the ground type shit. So
yeah,
that's just dope that you chose that one.
Thanks.
Yeah, and Mary brought up a good comment where we have a super cool hollow foil cover with the flames on this one in issue 1. So I know we're going to get to the Kickstarter tiers in a little bit. But yeah, for those of you watching and you haven't backed yet, or you're thinking about what other tiers we have available, yes, this is going to be an amazing hollow foil cover. And it's all shiny and spectacular, and the team all here is synonymously like just worked on figuring out what kind of hollow foil cover we want to get you guys, and it looks dope. Like it's gonna look sick.
Yeah, those covers. Did we decide on it yet? I remember there was an option out there. I forgot.
We did. I think we all went with C.
Yeah.
And I think that was it. So let's keep going through the books. I mean, speaking of what they're getting, I think the core of our campaign is really about the first 3 books. And you know, one of the things with our team at 24/7 Comics, we believe in the creators we work with. This is partnership publishing. So we always offer the first book for free as an ash can. Now, what's been really cool is you're gonna find within the pages of the actual print issue, community contributors, and these are basically feedback and notes, people who actually gave us notes based on reading the ash can, and then we basically made edits to the final print. And so so it will be different by the time we get to issue number 1, which is what the interior will look something more like this versus this ash can here. So yeah, let's dive through the pages, man. I mean, you know, here's all the credits. I mean, how are you guys feeling getting you know, I think for you TV film guys, your first credit on a comic book?
Yeah, I think, you know, Lindsay, you would say something first, because then I'm gonna say.
No, I didn't have anything. I was just like unmuting, but go ahead.
I saw you on me. I thought you were going to launch into a nice philosophical.
No.
I
was just getting ready.
I just want to say that Lindsay has these like really philosophical, like really beautifully poignant things about creativity that inspire me. He's not a man of few words in the public, but I think like I gotta say, like whenever I hear it, it's just always super dope. So I just want to shout you out, man, for that, because like I think approaching creativity from someone like me who is coming at it as a second career, I don't think I fully understood the depths of creativity, but every time I'm with you, I see just like the beauty of it. So yeah, that's what I see when I see the proof of what we created, even though it started as a screenplay with Sylvester Stallone, and now it's this, and it's become this own behemoth. And it's just a feeling of, super pride, man. I think it's just dope. To see where it's coming. And I just love the quote. I forgot which one of us thought of where God does not smoke, does not cook, there will be smoke, but goddamn, that's a dope ass quote.
Good start. Yeah, no. Likewise, like I think for me, when I see the names and like see this, it's like it kind of makes me rethink of like, man, this is just like a list of just dreamers, right? And like everyone took risks on each other and the project, and like, you know, and I think all of us in our respective fields and everything that we do, like we all, if you've been in it long enough, you know how hard it is to even get something made. And so the fact that we have getting something made, and we have a team that everyone like is trusting of each other and like trusting of everyone's ability, like that is even harder. And we got that, and then everything coming out, and everyone devoting their time and efforts to continue to show up and do all this stuff on stream and constantly think of like what can we get more to the initial round of fans and people who are also going to take risks on reading an original IP like this. Like, we want to do our due diligence, and I think the one thing that we could at least show in not just effort but in like execution is like how much appreciation that we have. So that, I think, to have all that align without any kind of crazy struggles or any kind of emotional back and forth in that way, that's a blessing, so that's what I see, and that's what I feel every time I see like any of their titles of anything in the final pages.
Yeah, I agree. It's like it's a really tight team, but it's a lot of work poured into this.
Yeah.
So, Will, are you digital painter now? Is that the new thing?
Yeah, more or less, because in this instance, it wasn't just like applying color. It was kind of setting a mood. A lot of work went into the actual food. Like, I don't think I think Ninji put it best. There's a lot of choices out there in terms of comic books. All right.
Yep.
You got the big two, you got Image, there's a lot, and I wanted to kind of emphasize the time that was put into this book. And I didn't want to just slap the title of colorist on it. I felt like it kind of demeaned the work that was put into this. This was something that, although it was done in Photoshop, there wasn't any less time or effort or passion put into it than any other painting. Whatever the medium might be, it's still painting. So it comes across a little maybe pretentious or obnoxious a little, but no, fuck it, it's not just color. I painted some of those scenes, and it's like it shows in the food. It definitely shows in the food. There was
I love
time
it.
put into it.
I love it. It's funny because we spent some time in New York Comic Con, and one of the things that we talked a lot about was, man, like, if you go to, I'm an art collector, and if you go to like Magic the Gathering, when you purchase a piece of art, the pencils and the inks don't matter because they don't really do inks, but it's pencils and then painting over it, and that's the artist, right? But in comics, typically the artist is the pencil and line art. But I do feel like a lot of times, like, colorists aren't included in like the kind of artist credits, and so we are very intentional to make sure that Will is recognized for his works because he does deliver the finished product as a painter. And definitely got a shout out to Austin as well. Lettering is also an art form in itself. It was really Sean Chen who had like a deep dive with me and showing me pages and telling me how bad lettering can actually ruin a book, and that's 100% true. And what you're also seeing today is Crease. I don't know if you ever have planned to do this, but a lot of artists are now starting to integrate kind of sound effects like SFX into their art. Meaning, like, they'll draw the SFX in the background. That use of like SFX is actually pretty freaking awesome. Let me also shout out some of the other folks. Mickey Finnegan, who directed our trailer. If you haven't seen that yet, definitely go to Kickstarter and check out.
House, baby.
Yeah, he killed it. Swaggle Haas, aka Jane, creative manager. She's a beast, and you guys all know Mary. We got Lumberg and Jake, who are behind the scenes operations, and then Nate. I think we gotta respell your name on the actual proof itself, because I think there's a typo here. So good thing we're actually catching this stuff. But that is you. All right, page one, guys. Where are we at? What's happening here? Page one.
Man, I particularly love this page because you think of this story as a very modern day thing, but you realize the big thing for us was to bring it back all the way to the 1800s, to the olden times, and see the history of how the construct of Bladesmyth began, and like what the intentions was at the beginning, and then how it became what it is today. It gets simplified where it's like it's Kingsman today, but with chefs. But like in the beginning, you know, it was about a lot more than that. It was just people trying to survive and battle for survival, and then it became its own form of conduct through the years. And I think this panel's really brought that to life. I love the Eyes Wide Shut little third panel that Chris put on. Yeah, man, I think it's just capturing the history of it. I think was really important, and I think you nailed it.
Nice. So, Chris, visually, what was this Eyes Wide Shut panel all about? Were you watching the movie?
No, I think Lindsay or Justin added that in.
Yeah, I think it was we wrote it in as like a detail in the actual script.
Nice.
We're just following directions.
Yeah.
Love it.
I actually don't know that reference. So
what? Kubrick, baby.
Oh.
Kubrick, baby.
So this is like
Get yourself the Criterion channel. It's worth it. I think it's on there now.
This is the first DPS, which is awesome because it's also a narrative, kind of a montage, right, as to this background of the Bladesmyth lore.
We have the cleaver there.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, weapon of choice.
And I really love that. You know, these panels really illustrate the power of how they stick to the blade, and that's like part of the code, right? That's kind of like it's out of date in modern times, but they stick to it. I think there's a poetic poignancy to that, much like people from my own shady life. My background, we stuck to a code, and while many people thought that was dated, how gangsters are supposed to move in the world, we stuck to it. And I think similar to this, how they just displays no matter what. It just really, there's a samurai poignancy to it that I really that Chris really captured.
In fact, one of the things we talked about yesterday with Jet was how, you know, as kids, why comics were so enticing to me personally was the realism. Like, there's real blood, there's real violence, there's a lot of, like, you know, sexy tones in certain books, and that's what I open these pages for. It's like I love how authentic it was, but over time, as they became billion-dollar properties, a lot of these corporations had to get rid of the blood, get rid of the cigarettes, get rid of the knives, and all of a sudden, like, you're telling stories with, like, you know, alternate universes where there are just nothing interesting anymore. And so it's cool that Jet's kid, by the way, named Red, is also in love with comics. So that was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you make a really great point. It's like some of the comics that really introduced me to the concept of like the depths of violence was those Image comics. Like one of them is Wetworks. I don't know if y'all remember Wetworks, but that
was
man, for sure.
Ooh,
like, one of my favorites.
Bro, that's what I'm talking about. Wetworks, baby. Like that, it introduced me a lot of the themes about like trauma and trying to move on to. Like there was some poetry in that with the emotion. But also being fucking cool and how they executed everything. But I remember that one sticks out, man. Wetworks, man.
Man, if I knew you were a fan of Wetworks, I would have had Wills himself on here today.
Oh god damn! I mean, I have the fucking comic right here, man. I was gonna, Wetworks Grail 3. Oh wait, I have my pen.
Oh my god, yeah. Wills is awesome. He is like, I think he's one of the first like artists that got on a Zoom with me and like talked to me for like 3 hours, giving me like insight into comics and like what to expect going into it. So I always have a soft spot for Will. So shout out Wills.
Shout out Will, man.
Thank you for all the wisdom. All right, and this is like the first intro of Loren with food, and it's crazy because Ren the Alchemist. So like freaking Jet's son is Ren. I'm just super blown away right now. Yo, Mr. MC1. Amazing supporter, partner, advisor. Thanks for showing up as always.
I think those are the dumplings.
I read that as Mr. Macbeth.
Jet was mentioning.
Yeah. So Chris, was it intimidating to have to take on this task of you know, drawing food? Because I'm guessing you haven't had to do this in the Marvel comics that you do. I don't see Iron Man cooking or Fantastic Four. You know,
honestly, I don't think I don't think I was like intimidated. I was excited to draw it, but then I don't think it hit me that like I would have like real chefs and people like real foodies be looking at this and like critiquing each thing. And so then I think that's when I'm like, oh shoot, like I need to like study more to get this accurate or like ask more questions instead of just drawing what I think looks cool. And so yeah.
If only we knew a chef who is passionate now about bladesmith, where you could reference things.
Sounds like I need some private lessons or something, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you Will? I know that was a big mandate. Like when we say, "Hey, man," like when we did the color in the painting, we needed to feel real, right?
Yeah, I'm like looking at these pages because I mean, people don't realize this was like years ago that this kind of started this endeavor. So it's been a minute since I've actually like checked these pages out and stuff. And it's like, I mean, are you able to like zoom in on the scene with the dish right in front of Lauren? Like, yeah, I was hoping
Yeah.
like if maybe folks could like
I don't want to zoom in today
see the.
because today's a preview.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, just like a
They'll see it
little like a
when they get the
preview,
book.
just the detail of the food and stuff like that is
let me see. I don't know how
like
to
that's
zoom
what
in
I'm
on this.
really drawn in by.
Like the meats.
You know,
Like the meats you did like
yeah, I'm like
great
right. I'm
like
like looking at the meat on the
marbling.
plate, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that's you know,
Yeah,
and that's
that's
why I
cool.
kind of emphasize that painter thing because I'm like, damn, that was like a lot. You know, it's like a lot of time to like
Yeah.
reference it and put it in, and you know, I want people to like just appreciate like this what we put into this. You know, like there's a lot of books out there, a lot of Kickstarter projects out there, but this is one of the best quality books that and stories that you're gonna be seeing out there right now. You know, it really is. And I've joked about this before, but that ash can is like unlike any other ash can. The typical ash can was like something they printed black and white off of an office copier and then like stapled together to hand out. I mean, these are like high quality
Yeah.
color ash cans. These are like no joke. And like such high quality, there's like no flop. You know, I
Yeah.
made that joke earlier about Dave Portnoy and stuff, but seriously, like the book itself has no flop when you hold it. That just is like a sign of the quality of the paper stock that's put into the print of this. Like every little detail of the wood grain is on that table and stuff, you know? House in
I
the
think that's
background, pushing the kitchen back and stuff, you know?
I think that's one of the coolest things that I appreciate you pointing out, Will, is uh like I'm not big into I wasn't big into comics growing up. I need to pull it out because Carl and I might stream it at some point. Classic like Marvel comics, but they've got that light paper to them and kind of flimsy. If you sneeze wrong, a page will rip probably. But when I started with 24/7 and I got my hands on the ash can of Bladesmith and whatnot, you're right. There's like heft to it, and I give props to Carl and his attention to detail and his passion for this company and for the industry because he wants to show that the quality stories deserve quality stock, and you guys producing quality work on that quality stock just sings so many stories that not a lot of people get to pay attention to, or they won't notice without having it in their hands.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Nate. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's true. It's like right, it is a physical thing once you have it in your hands. Like much like with the metal cards in New York, Carl, you know, it's like once people actually held the metal cards for Zero Ghost, they were like, whoa. And they were like immediately asking about the price of them. Can they buy them in sets? Can they buy them individually? And I mean, so that's just like that's such an amazing sign of quality, you know, that the minute somebody touches something, okay, yeah, I'll buy it. You know, no hesitation, no second guessing, no, I'll come back later and think about it. They were like right there on the spot, like snatching them up. You know, it was great. It was really great to see.
So who sung?
Oh,
Sung's Fish Market. Sung's Fish.
Oh. Honestly, nobody specific, but it's just like
That's your uncle that paid you to put his name in it.
yeah, he paid me $50, you know, to add
This
him in.
Fish Market advertisement. So what's cool about BLADESMYTH, I think, is beyond just like the action adventure, the cooking. It's also kind of like the BTS aspect, like of like a chef, and really us getting to know Ren through his processes and what a day in the life of a chef is like. Because honestly, they wake up super early in the morning and then to go shop for food, which it doesn't just start in the kitchen, right? It starts way earlier than that, and you guys were able to integrate that part of the story into the overall premise of
I
this.
remember Chris wanting to add the squid scene or the octopus scene, and
Cool.
that was a thing you really that was like your panel you really wanted to put in, Chris, and it made me
Yeah.
realize because I've worked in some kitchens. Distant Family has a noodle shop, I think I mentioned, so I've been in the kitchens preparing shit. And going to those early day markets at fucking 4 a.m. to find stuff for the spot, and I think like it was dope to see that on here. And I remember my disastrous thing with the squid and trying to bring it to the that's the whole thing. So I'm like, I watch it now, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that was pretty good.
So, quick question from B Shock TV: have y'all said where the main story takes place?
We haven't. Lindsay, do you want to tell them?
Like the main where it takes place, like location wise, or
I guess location wise, yeah. Where does it take place? I don't even know actually.
In a city in BLADESMYTH world.
The model was always a Seattle-like city. That was an American city. It's similar to Seattle. That was like our base point. So like Pike's Place Market, I think that's places like that was like an emphasis for the fish and stuff. That was always the jump off point. We never fully reference it just to keep it, in our John Wickian reality. But Seattle was the jump off point for this story. There's just a quality, I think, that had that a lot of cultures can combine at a place like that market and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it hasn't been explored a lot. We always explore the chef worlds or the underworlds. I've worked on a bunch of stuff where it's like underworld in LA, Chicago, Detroit, New York. I'm like, no, this stuff goes everywhere. So let's do another spot. And so
I think Seattle was really good too, because I think one of the things that Justin and I, when we first kind of expanded and went deeper in the story, was like what's our version of like the hotel in John Wick, right? And I think ours was, how do we show this other kind of map that happens in the city? And we wanted a port, like we wanted something where there's fish or anything that comes in through the port, and in LA or anything that we know, it's like Newport, and we're like, we can't see this character in that kind of town. So then when Justin brought up more of like the Seattle-esque type of thing, I think that made more sense. So
for sure. And I want to say first, hi Pro, thanks for tuning in. And Carl, would you mind scrolling up? I think it's 3 pages back to like Ren cooking and cracking that egg. I know this was a big pain in the butt, but let me tell you, this is one of my favorite pages. And Crease, Will, you guys freaking killed it on this one.
I
love this.
Yeah.
So why was this one your favorite?
Number one, it feels like there's viscosity to that egg. And like the cut mango, the food itself like looks good, but it looks right. And the steam coming off of it, the coloration, I just want to give props to you guys on that, because I needed to tell you that this is probably one of my favorite pages in representing food. It was so good. Even B Shack TV agrees. That egg though.
Shout out B Shack.
I remember we had like 3 edits on the egg, right? Like getting the color like the yolk vibrant enough, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like the clarity as well for the egg,
The
you know,
white
not
part,
just
right?
the
Yeah.
yolk, right?
Yeah.
But the white is, you know, the translucency for the white, because yeah, there was like that's why like I wanted like that particular sort of emphasis on the credit in the book, because I'm like, you know, it's not just like, you know, I put a base color then a highlight and this, you know, nah,
Yeah.
it was
That's
a
cool.
lot more put
That's
into it
cool.
than just that, you know, seriously, you know.
Yeah, you guys
So
killed it because you could feel motion for the egg. You can
Mhm.
feel how sticky and viscous it is. Like it blows my mind, and that I have to tell you guys that after all this time. So,
Nice. Oh,
Mary,
this is a good a moment for like a
good one, Mary.
DVD behind the scenes moment.
Yeah.
So I don't. Probably most people won't have this question, but there's a reason why the first time you see him cook, and you know he cooks this for him. When you get to this panel, you'll know the dialogue. Like cook me anything, and you know we set up this whole world of Bladesmith being like these premium chefs, also being these amazing assassins. So then why create a dish this simple? And I remember Justin and I early on going back and forth what that dish would be like, because it is like the opening kind of scene. And I remember telling him this memory of like of someone breaking down like what a great dish of a memory of a dish is. And he said, you know, I've had the most expensive steaks with amazing, you know, name people and companies at like the 100th floor of some tower. And then I had like, you know, a dirty dog off the street on a corner coming out of a concert with my friends. And he's like, and if I remember correctly, in my memory, that hot dog tasted better because of the people that I was with, right? So this was like, we thought it would be an interesting way to, what if we like sneakily put in what the philosophy of Lauren is as a chef? And so something that's like a home cook, so something that feels warm, that kind of, it wouldn't say much of like this classic, you know, build of a character, but more of an emotional layer that might be interesting. So that's kind of the reason why we chose that dish, but it never gets explained. But that was a cool little behind the scenes DVD moment.
That's cool. We're definitely using this clip here for sure. Nate, please mark the time. Thank you.
But yeah,
Chad.
but I think it's really cool because I remember somebody early on was like, "That's just such a simple dish. Why did you guys pick that?" And I remember loving that they pointed that out, like being like so kind of perplexed, like that's what he made. But we were very intentional with all of that stuff, or tried to be.
All right, fellas.
We might need to make that dish in real life.
Basically, just a regular.
We might need to make it. Yeah, I might have to get a Jet to give us some cooking lessons. I'm gonna try to blast through issue 1 because I want to preview issues 2 and 3.
Oh, we're gonna push it 2 and 3. Oh man, that's sick, man. Those
we are gonna preview today. So
man, I feel like
that'll be interesting.
Okay, here goes. Issue 2. Let's talk about this cover, dude. What happened here?
Ooh, there's some talk to us, Chris. There's some philosophy in that.
Classic steak and potatoes. Yeah, and then I think the issue 2, it goes like into the past, and so he wanted to showcase the characters and obviously adding cool knives, and so yeah, just delicious food and knives again, you know.
Yeah, I love the meat and potatoes. It's just very callback.
And I love young Crislow. Like that's probably one of my favorite characters. I had a brother, like like someone I consider a brother. He looks like that's how he looked.
And it's cool because we emphasize, you know, kind of this character that we'll get into, who is, you know, kind of a big part of issue 2, who is basically Lauren's mom.
Yeah, love that panel.
So we don't want to spoil too much. We need people to be hungry for the story. Ooh.
So there's a lot to it. There's a deeper relationship. I mean, I'll say something about this panel is I know we've used it for like promo and whatnot, but we actually had a writer for a press column that read this and saw this and was like, please promise me I'll do this interview, but promise me this will be an alternate cover. So we don't do a ton of variant covers, but this one I think will definitely make it in. Oh, while we have here Mr. Ed Vasquez, thanks for checking in. He's a good friend and have definitely been a supporter for sure. So thank you, Ed. Fro Ikami, thank you for shouting that cover for sure. That cover is a beast, and this will be the alternate cover.
Yes, B-Shack TV,
And
I
I'm
completely
sorry.
agree. Just want to
Yeah, I
highlight
just wanted to point
B-Shack's
out.
thing.
As far as that cover, that's like a gatefold cover, so it's just like front and back.
Yep.
So like again, like high quality image on a high quality paper stock. You know,
Yeah,
people just
we're
you should just
fans of
pick this
wraparound
up.
for sure.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful image for a wraparound. And like folks should just pick this up just to like look at the detail on the stuff. Seriously, like if I don't think people are gonna be able to get like the full detail of the food just from what we're scrolling through now. For me coming up, like part of it was just like looking through the pages, maybe seeing like hidden details and stuff like that, and just like re-examining the images over and over again. So these books are just great for that.
Man, the food is really making me hungry, dude. Like, look at that. Oh my god.
Yeah, we put a lot of time on that food, y'all.
Yeah, look at that plate.
And then some hot action right
Hot
after.
action,
Boom.
for sure.
From hot dishes to hot action.
Yep. Goal. I'm gonna blast through that. Oh, big moment here. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but for those who are tuning in, you guys are getting exclusive first look. We are just blasting through it, and issue number 2. You guys.
And I remember writing this scene in script form, and just like yeah, I think it's just
it's really moving, man. This
Yeah.
issue, it's definitely like a tear jerker, like a heart jerker. You know, I don't know what to call it, but
yeah.
Cosmic Seeds, I'm going to shout you out. Yes, we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Oh,
So thank you, and thank you.
Oh, good catch, Carl.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I didn't go all the way because I definitely want you guys to be a little surprised at the end of issue 2.
Well, I also the thing in issue 2 was dope is we had a lot of combos about what the Bladesmith, actually maybe I shouldn't spoil it, but like the Bladesmith compound, and you know, it had to blend history plus training and all that. And I think Chrissy, finally what you landed on was very dope.
Also seeing issue 2, it just reminded me. I think we internally we should all connect about that signet, like that little like Bladesmith thing, because I think it's missing that in one of the pages. So just seeing that.
We had a combo about that.
Well, Nate, take a note about that. The signet is missing on one of the pages. So I guess I think Mary's taking those as well.
Cool. Okay, good.
And these are the preview pages, so I feel like we just gotta make sure our publishing pages are updated as well.
Brees did an amazing job with this cover as well. I'm like looking at the dish. I'm like, oh my god, this looks so good.
Yeah, it's your coloring, man. I don't think you want some grayscale sushi.
Camera angle and everything, dude. Seriously. Nah, it's a great you got killer camera angles, man. I love your worm's eye shots.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Yeah, this one was fun just because sushi's always good. So
yeah, B-Shack TV, don't worry about it. We're just kind of brushing through really quick. I don't want you to leave the stream because we're gonna have some good stuff coming up in a little bit, talking about our tiers. But we're just kind of going through it all to get a little bit of director commentary from our creator team. And Cosmic Seeds, I love this comment. Your favorite cook is your lady, so good on you, and she definitely should get that wonderful chef knife package that we have going.
Also, I love your dinosaur emoji. I want to use that shit. I'll see that on
I definitely blasted through any spoilers, B-Shack. Don't worry. Yeah, you'll definitely be caught off guard. But this preview is sick right here because
we enhanced a couple of dialogues here. The action scenes is just off the chain, man. Kreese really did his thing.
Wow.
I love this scene.
I think this scene is something worth me praising again. Is I freaking love the contrast between like that warm purplish color and like that teal tone that's in front of it. Like, props to you on the coloration on that. That I love contrast.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to shout out
so
that
much.
too, because the thing for me, one of my favorite directors, he only works in contrast in film, is Nicholas Winding Refn. And this is his style palette is contrast, mainly because he colorblind. But I've always been drawn to that because it's so dynamic. So when I saw this here, it reminded me just of his work, and that was just super dope for me.
Yeah, I like those panels, especially because they were just like action background panels. So because there wasn't anything in the background in terms of like background sets, background scenes, boxes and stuff for the scenery and that, I wanted to go with a complementary but warmer color to like boom, to pop those guys forward. It was like the perfect opportunity with those two panels.
Will did his thing, man.
Yeah.
What a freaking adventure. Look at that.
Not coloring, like you said, man. This is like
total.
We got a little fight between Goran, his Japanese bladesmith chef, versus Lauren. They want some information. I won't say what, but they get down. You know, shout out to these cool ass action panels. Ooh, that's that Blade 2 panel on the bottom right there. You know, remember the lights where Blade was fighting the two people? I love that silhouette shot. That's one of my favorite shots.
This right here, dude. Holy
crap. Man. That's really Blade 2-esque, man.
That chain drawing that pose, I feel like it makes sense. So like in my head, I had to like figure out where the tension is going and like if he's pulling, like where it's actually like being blocked and everything. So that took a while, but yeah.
The craft, bro, the detail, man. Ooh, I like when I saw this, I was like, if he just ducked his head, he would have a whole nother move about to bust on Lauren, because he had it mapped out.
Yeah,
dang, what a moment.
Yeah, I love these panels. I love this issue, man. I think I love all the issues, but like just seeing the color and the art, like the story kicks into overdrive. And we break open the Bladesmith world. You learn all about it, and you know where they frequent, what they do, where they hide, what their specialty is. Like again, we introduce another one in the next panel, and you're like, "Ooh, this world keeps getting bigger."
The comedy aspect too, it's hilarious. Like this right here, I love that.
Love that. That's that Jackie Chan flavor that I think early. You know what I mean? Have some physical comedy. Man, this is one of my favorite characters, Osari, as I keep saying. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop the issue previews here because I don't want B-Shack to see too much. But before we move on, let me show the holofold cover that we ended up picking. So this will be it, guys.
Sick.
Mary, what was that knife called that you referenced? So there's a kind
Damascus.
of a knife. Yes,
like Damascus steel.
Yes, Damascus steel actually has this pattern. So that's pretty much what sold me. When she sent me the knife, I was like, okay, that makes sense. There we go.
So sick.
Yeah, I actually incorporated Damascus patterns into the knives in a couple of the issues as well.
Yeah. So where should we go next?
Pick it up to see it.
What else do you guys want to see? What should we show you guys? I mean, B-Shack, question, would it be okay for 12 to 13-year-olds to read? I think so. I mean, if you saw how old Jet's kid was, Ren, I don't know if he was even 12 or 13 and you know, definitely dove into it. But yeah, Linji, I don't know, the student side.
Yeah, I think the best way, if you're open to letting your kids watch Daredevil on Disney Plus, then this is fine.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because he throws people off buildings and you see the blood from his face when he lands on the ground in Daredevil.
So we'll leave it up to you as a parent or like the elder, but if you're willing to let he or she watch Daredevil, then this is all Gucci.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, sorry.
Go for it, Chris.
Is the quality of the books like the same as the ash cans, or
Will be.
okay,
Yeah.
sick.
I
Nice.
think, Carl, we need to talk a little bit about our Kickstarter tiers because we are what 15 hours, only 15
Yeah,
hours
let's talk
left.
about the tiers. I mean, we definitely had what do we Barack's Rio, 3 spread Rio. Okay, I'm looking at the Rios. I mean, one of the big tiers. Oh, yeah, we're about half an hour left, so let's dive into it. So yeah, let's talk about the tiers. I mean, rewards themselves. I'm just gonna go on to the front page and blast through it. There we go. Can you guys see better now?
Mhm.
Ultimately, here's kind of like the covers you guys saw today, the characters, and then let's dive into the tiers. You guys saw way more than the rewards pages today. Tier 1 includes all 3 books as well as the digital version. So even if you just read digital, we would appreciate the support. Tier 2 is the metal character cards. I don't know if we have a link to the metal character cards. I know we did a whole cast on that. So maybe if you guys are curious about the cards, just go to 24/7 Comics HQ on YouTube and just do a quick search on our last metal character card set review. We showed all the cards. We showed the whole process from line art to colors to the medals themselves. Speaking of kind of line art, we love artist editions, and so if you want to see Crease's artwork in just the black and white with no lettering and no colors, the artist edition is for you. We just showed Tier 4, a holofoil, which I can show one more time right here. This is Tier 4, I believe.
Man, and it's shiny. So if you guys have gotten any of the previous tiers or just the basic, highly recommend you upgrade yourself to this tier. Get yourself that shiny cover because that's not coming back again.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So for you guys who are art fans, Tier 5 is the original art sketch. So Crease is super slam and busy, but he's gonna put his time into making sure we get some original art into your hands.
Yes.
So Tier 6 is Nate, we want to have a little conversation about. So you are the I don't know, the bladesmith. You are actually bladesmithing these blades, right? So do you want to share a little bit more about kind of inspiration, where this came from? I definitely want everyone to hear from you on this a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So like I said, I come from a different industry than comic books, the magic industry as well as the escape room industry. So when I'm not here trying to help make these dreams come true for creators, I actually help design puzzle boxes and escape rooms for other companies and things like that. And with the secret society that is Bladesmith, I couldn't stay away from it. We wanted something for you guys at home to be able to feel like you're part of the Bladesmith secret society. And I designed a little box and a laser engraved knife for people to get along with. I don't know if any of our creators has it on hand with them at the moment, but the lid is. Oh, you do? The lid has a secret lock on it.
Let me shut off.
Hear it. Yeah, so the lid has a secret lock on it. Just trying to keep the lid in place. But when you turn the Bladesmith logo, it unlocks and you can take the lid off. Oh, there you go. Nice.
So you take the lid off.
Sick.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. A nice little cover on it, and then got the blade. Got a special engraving right there, Bladesmith. Look at this beast right here.
I want to see Jet use that.
Yeah, right now. I'm the cover of Bladesmith right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Someone take, hey, Lindsay, can you take a screenshot of this so I can have it? Have this framed in memory.
You got it, Lindsay?
I got you.
Yeah, but this is a beautiful, nice shout out, Magic Nate. Like, look at this thing.
Right.
Custom box, y'all. Woo!
So you guys saw right there. So we only have 4 left. So, Nate was willing to commit his time and overtime working on, 10 of these. And so there's only 4 left. So if you guys have any friends that are interested in knives, you have less than 16 hours to get one. And even the sketches before this, there's only 2 of 12 left. And so it's funny. We typically offer just 10, but Kreese was willing to put in 2 more. So typically we'd be sold out, but we have 2 more left. So if you're an original art collector, jump in. Let's get this tier filled as well. And then, I know we haven't seen all the cards yet, but if you actually look at our special video that featured the cards, you'll see how much work was put into this. And Kreese was gracious enough to put the original art for sale as well. So these are all still available. And first come, first serve. You were saying, Kreese?
Oh no, I was just agreeing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there's a various pages that Kreese's vault opened up and released some pages from Iron Man, Moon Knight, Fantastic Four. We understand today is definitely like crazy times in the economy, so we appreciate anyone who's extending themselves to be part of backing this. And then tier 9 is like for the big kahunas. It's cover quality. Is that
Gambit?
Exactly echoing.
I'm echoing. What's going on?
What's?
Everyone's going. Can you guys try talking?
Sure. How's it sound from mine?
Oh my gosh, everyone's echoing. Something's going on. Someone change any setting?
The ghost issue too.
All right, let me stop sharing and see what happens. How about now?
You're good.
Oh, yep. Weird. I wonder if it's from the sharing, the screen sharing, because so those were all the tiers. I mean, folks, we're here. I mean, we're on the last day of the journey. So I think we're 90 minutes into the stream. Want to maybe start landing it, but ultimately, how's everyone feeling? If you guys, I want to kind of go around, maybe in the order of backwards from how we came in. So maybe Lindsay, you go first. What is your kind of final call to action to the fans out there who's watching today, as well as potential fans who are watching this stream afterwards?
Honor the blade, defy the world, man. But that's I feel like, thank you again. I'm really excited for everyone to dive in. I think you guys got a little preview of it, and can't wait for you guys to keep supporting, and like all the work that's going to keep flooding from here is just going to get better. So can't wait for you guys to all experience it.
Awesome. Lindsay, Justin?
Benji said it best, man. I think and it's without going into a whole tangent, I think it's just beautiful to have seen this journey and just the people that come along the way with you and see something in it. I think that's kind of the beauty of art. Again, this is a second career for me. And I'm only seeing the power and beauty and community of art. And I think I just appreciate everybody for coming on this one and lending all their talents and all the enthusiasms and passions to it, whether it's fans or people at a team. I think it's mad love forever. So when it's my time to ride off into the sunset away from the creative community, I will remember all of this. So thank y'all.
Awesome. And B-Shack, thanks for supporting tier 4.
Shout out B-Shack, man.
Yep. Shout out B-Shack. And Kreese, you're up.
Yes. I'm just very excited for this project. It's been a crazy ride, like past couple of years just working on this, and so it's really exciting to see this come to life now. I'm excited to work on the second half, and excited for like all the new opportunities coming from it, especially with like Jet joining our team too, hopefully. So like I think this project is something very special. It's not the typical comic that you'll work on or read. So it's like being part of this project. It's been crazy. And like it's different than just drawing superheroes and stuff. It's like, I don't know, it's a true passion project. So it's really cool seeing it come to life. And thank you for all the support. And yeah, excited to show you guys more. So.
And I think, Chris, you made just last thing from what you say is like we really grew with each other through the years because like we were in different places in lives all when this started, and just to see the growth across the board, everybody done changed from who they was. You know what I mean? So it's been now we get to go on a ride with the fans and supporters. I think it's super dope, man, just to see the growth across all levels with everybody.
Completely agree.
I think the second half of our book is going to be even better too, because after like getting to know each other, it's like we know how we all work now, and so it's just going to be even better.
Oh
so,
yeah, no doubt.
It's going to be sick.
All right, I mean, I'll let you say it, Will, this time. What's that S word?
Ooh, the sweet and savory. There's a lot of S words for all of this, but seriously, first of all, for anyone who hasn't already backed this project, thank you. You know, there are a lot of projects out there, a lot of books that you could choose from. And, you know, the fact that you're willing to give us a shot means a lot. Oh, a lot of that word.
That word.
I completely forgot we were on that, man. But yeah, no, I'm just like focused on the fact that, you know, this is a project that you know, it's in a jungle of other, you know, properties and projects and stuff like that. And, you know, I just want people to notice that and that we stand out, you know, that you know, with that, it was interesting, like Chris had said with that egg, we must have gone through that like 3 times and stuff like that. But by the time we were on issues 2 and 3, we weren't like, we clicked, you know, it's like we had it down pat, you know. So like the best is yet to come. So if you're already invested in this, thank you. If you like what we put out there, let other people know, you know, what we're doing, what we're about, what we're putting out there. And, you know, give our other titles a shot as well, you know. So yeah, man, you know, there's your synergy. There's the 24/7 synergy. You know,
Carl, can I ask a question? Is nowadays the comics as much as about people wanting to go on the ride with the creators and the creative team as they put out more and more things, or just with the one title? Like, that's part of the game too now, even more so than it was before the Rob Liefeld days and stuff?
I think these days, I would say one of the things that came out of Comics Pro was people's acknowledgement of how fragmented it is now. So it's more about the indie studio and everyone's kind of carving out their own piece of the pie. And so, yeah, I think more so than ever, there's definitely more of like a relationship with the communities, and there's something for everybody. And yeah, B-Shack, there is going to be more on the way for sure. And after the Kickstarter, people will have an opportunity, but that's to be announced. So just stand by. Make sure you go to 247comics.com and sign up for our newsletter. And we'll have plenty of information for you as to how to get the word out. But yeah, I mean, guys, thank you everyone for making time. You know, Magic Nate and I are on a mission to get this out there. And, you know, our creator crew is only growing, and we have a few announcements coming up. And I think this last 24 hours, folks, if you guys can, spread the word, send the links around, and let's get, you know, let's close out strong with this Kickstarter. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Wow. Thanks, everyone.
Synergy.
Synergy, baby.